What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Completing ARK here on ARK Survival Ascended. This is, of course, attempt number 2. I'm Sean, and I am an Arkaholic. So, guys, in between the episodes, I went ahead and brought up our utility tame dinos, and I'm happy to introduce a brand new mod to the series, and that is the Better Breeding mod. I did get a comment about this a couple of episodes ago to check out this mod because it makes breeding so much easier, and whoever that was, thank you so much for leaving that comment because, oh my god, this mod is absolutely awesome when it comes to breeding. So pretty much what it does is it takes the best stats from the parent and literally throws it onto the kid right away. So no more wasted dinos, no more wasted time. You get your perfect male, you eventually get your perfect female right away, and then you're all good to go. So really excited to bring that into the series here. But that being said, we have our brand new fully imprinted utility tames. Let's take a quick look at the stats here. So on the Mammoth, we have 8568 in health, which is 37 points, 1419 in stam, which is 33 points, 1116 in weight, which is 43 points, and finally 376 melee, which is 38 points. And this, of course, is with a 100% imprint. Moving on to the Anki, we have 7896 in health, which is 42 points, 612 in stam, which is 25 points. Yeah, that stam is really bad, but it is what it is. 540 in weight, which is 40 points, and finally 417 melee, which is 44 points. So the Anki actually ended up with some pretty good stats here, obviously, besides the stamina. 100% imprint on this guy, too. And then finally, we have our Doedicurus here, which has 7344 in health, which is 33 points, 1500 stam, which is 40 points, 492 in weight, which is 32 points, and finally melee 333 at 31 points with 100% imprint. I'm going to get out of this because that leaf is driving me absolutely nuts. Unfortunately, I don't have a name for these utility dinos. If you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I know I'm really bad with names, guys, and yeah, hopefully I can get your help on naming a few of these guys. But speaking of which, I have went ahead and named the Argent. Somebody left a comment saying we should probably call him Iceman, based on, unfortunately, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. I also, usually in my series, I'll name my Argent Maverick. It has nothing necessarily to do with Top Gun. It's more just, it's a Maverick. It basically does everything on its own. It's a utility tame. It's also a mobile smithy. It's also a great attacker. It can pick stuff up. It's kind of a just, you know, it's a one-man shop, you know what I mean? So, well, thought it was good naming it Iceman. So we got brand new Argent Iceman here, and yeah, but getting into today's episode, I want to do a little bit of work to the base, and I know the last few episodes have kind of been upgrading and all that kind of stuff, but I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, and I'm really excited to see if we can go ahead and pull this off. And I'm kind of glad we're kind of in the middle of the night here because I am going to be doing a little bit of busy work. It's going to make it so much easier to get wood now with this guy. I'm really, really excited to see kind of the yield that we get on this thing. But yeah, basically we're going to do a pretty big expansion with this base, if I do say so myself. And yeah, we'll kind of see what we end up doing with it. But 239 right to start with. Oh my god, this is, look at this. That's just absolutely nuts, honestly. Oh my god, why am I not getting this last? There we go. Okay, so 1344 already in wood. That is just, yeah, this is why you need to get yourself dinos. I know it's fine kind of going through your playthrough without dinos, and you can do everything yourself, of course, but why would you when you can literally get something like this, like a mammoth that can literally just do all this no problem for you, right? So wait a second, how do you do the, no, how do you do, okay, so there's, is it A? No, it's this. Does this get me the, yeah, this gets me the thatch yield. I was gonna say, I was trying to figure out, okay, how do you get thatch on the mammoth again? That's right, it's right trigger. Yeah, look at all that thatch. Oh my god. Yeah, this is why the mammoth is one of my favorite creatures. The fact that it gets a really, really good amount of wood. Plus, it gets a really nice reduction to it. I think it's like 75 or 85%, honestly. And then the fact that it can also get a decent amount of thatch on top of it, too. Not exactly sure what's going on with kind of that little... Maybe it's because it's raining out? Yeah, it's giving like a weird... You guys see that? I don't know. But anyways, yeah, let's see how much we can get here. The only downside to it is, especially when you don't want berries, it gets you a lot of berries. But yeah, let's go ahead and drop this, and then we're going to get the Doedicurus out here and kind of go nuts. Unfortunately, we're not really going to be using the Enki today. Maybe the only thing we'll do is maybe we'll do a... you know what? It's probably a good idea right at the start here to do a metal run, actually. You know what? I kind of want to see if this idea with the base is going to work first, because I kind of have it in my head, but it's not like I went ahead and like tried this out or anything beforehand, so this is going to be all kind of fresh and new. We'll see how this goes, but in my head, the way that it's kind of looking, I think it's going to be pretty cool, honestly. It's just a matter of kind of seeing if we can actually pull this off. Let's get the Doedicurus out here. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of stone. By the way, with the Doedicurus too, you'll see it's level 205. It did end up getting a mutation. I believe the mutation was in health. We'll have a quick look here. Yes, so that's what brought it up to 7344. So if you guys were curious, yeah, and I gotta say, the colors on these guys ended up being pretty cool, honestly. I think the Doedicurus in general just had some really cool colors to work with. So, yeah, 231 stone right away. Like, you can't beat that. This is absolutely great. We just need to kind of be in an area with a lot of stone so we can just kind of keep piling ourselves up. But I believe you can also use the Doedicurus to get wooden thatch also, but obviously it's not really meant to be that kind of gatherer, but you can make it that if you want. But yeah, another great thing, if you guys don't know about the utility tames, is most utility tames, whatever they specialize in, they usually have a weight reduction in that category. So for example, you can see that 100 stone is 12.5 on this guy. But if we move it to our inventory, it'll be 25. It's really supposed to be 50, but we have our tier 2 backpack. And that actually kind of reminds me, we do have a tier 3 backpack that we can kind of get into if we want to. But all in due time. We'll probably do that maybe in the next episode. I just want to focus on the build today. There's a couple things I want to get done. I know we've been doing a lot of upgrading, like I said, but I mean, we could make literally every episode all about taming, but, you know, I kind of had this idea in my head, and I'm like, you know what, we're just going to go with it, basically. Yeah, this might be a bit of a problem. The good news with this is most of the levels are just going to go into weight anyways on these guys, just so pretty much they can carry more and more and more and more. So, all right, let's roll this guy back to base. Let's go ahead and make some stone foundations, and yeah, let's see if we can actually pull this off or not. All right, so first thing we're doing here is just expanding one foundation out. I kind of talked about this a couple of episodes ago. This isn't the final move here. I just want to make sure kind of what I'm doing is right, and I'm kind of taking this in baby steps because I'd hate to get all the way done with the entire build and realize I did something wrong. So I'm kind of just taking my time here and figuring out, all right, do I have all my measurements and everything correct here? I think I do, but we'll see in a second here. Let's go ahead and pick up all the other stuff that we took off the Parasaur, and then we're going to kind of rebuild the base, and then I'll take it reapart again. Yeah, let's pick up just everything, period. And then we'll see what we don't need and what we do need and all that. So, making the back here again. We're going to put this down. We're going to go ahead and start putting the ceilings in. So I'm going to have you there, 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 there. And then we're going to do a roof over the top. Okay, so that'll work. That's fine. That'll work. Okay, cool. So now all I got to do is break all this stuff down again. I had the right amount of foundations correct. Now it's just a matter of doing, I guess, the second phase of the build, if you will. So I've been sitting here for a minute, kind of watching the pathfinding, like what it's trying to do. This is just insane. By the way, this is the second time that I've kind of went over there to kind of grab the Doedicurus. The first time, it basically got stuck over there completely. The second time, I actually looped my character really far around, and it was with me until a certain point, and oh my god, this is very, very annoying, honestly. Very annoying why this kind of stuff is happening, honestly. Like, what are you like, why? What are you doing? Like, why are you looking at this spot and going, all right, that's going to get... I'm standing right here. Like, why would that have gotten you over there? I don't know. I can't remember when it was, but I do remember a while ago there was some patch that came out that completely and utterly broke pathfinding, and now it's like... It still hasn't been fixed. I don't think it's been fixed. I mean, I think that's pretty evident right there that it hasn't been fixed. That's kind of crazy, right? Oh my god, really? You know, I try not to bash on the game or anything, but that kind of stuff does get under my skin. You know, it's a waste of time, me having to go over and do that when we had it. We had it in the game, damn it. Okay, anyways. Sorry for the rant there. We're going to go ahead and make 11 more foundations because, yeah, this is going to be a pretty big task. Now, when I can move, I can kind of show you what my original plan was, and I kind of realized what I actually need to do to the base in order to make the original plan stick. But we're not necessarily going to do that. We're going to do something a little bit different here. Can I move? I can. Good. Now, am I going to be able to get over this, though, to be able to show this to you is the question. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So originally, I kind of wanted this middle to be a little bit of a courtyard-esque, I guess we can kind of say, right? I'm going to make sure they're on stop and passive. And the idea was that I was going to put stairs on this side, that side, and the back side. And this middle area was basically going to be a greenhouse. Now, we can still do that. We're just going to have to kind of do things a little bit differently here, which is fine. It'll still work. It's just not the way that I was actually intending it. That being said, I just want to make sure. Okay, so you come out two, which means now... Oh, I made a mistake here. I don't need this here. I guess that's a good thing. That gives us a few more foundations to work with. Okay, you know what? It might actually work. Okay, you know what? Let's kind of build it out first. Let's get rid of the water first, and then let's kind of build this out and see. But basically, if you guys haven't figured it out by now, what we're essentially doing here is we're mirroring the front with the back, and then we're going to kind of have like a courtyard kind of thing in the middle. So now this is basically this foundation here. Okay, so now I want to do 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's go forward 3. My worry is we are starting to get 1, 2, 3. Oh, thank God it's going to work. Okay. Ooh, might not because of this out here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, it's barely gonna work. It's barely gonna work. At least on this side, it's no, that's what I was worried about. All right, we might have to put a ceiling there instead. Okay. All right, that's okay. Wait a second. Yeah, because that's gonna be 3 out here, and then 1, 2. You know, I'm going to pick you up for the meantime. I think we actually have this. Because it's that, and then it sticks out too. Okay, no, I think we're good. So originally with this middle section, I kind of wanted to put stairs in the middle and then have it basically right on the ground here. But clearly that's not going to work with the space. So I want to try something a little bit different here. So we have 1, 2, 3 here. Okay. And then we also have 1, 2, 3, 4 here, right? What if we did, just to make a little bridge kind of over to this area, right? What if we did quarter foundations? I'm going to need 4 more. All right, let's make 4 more. Let's see if this is actually going to kind of work. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to scratch all that. Because we're just wasting space at that point. I like these quarter foundations, though, honestly. They're not necessarily going to work with this build, but it's definitely nice to have. Just not going to work with what I'm looking to do here. And I have kind of an idea what I want to do specifically here. But now looking at the front of the house, I just want to see, did we do this wood? We did this wood. Okay. Sounds good. So, like I said, back and front are going to be replicating each other. Now, do we have any wood? We don't. No, we don't. We have to go out and get a little bit more. All right, so kind of looking at the structure from here. Oh my god. Yeah, this is going to be massive. But basically all I'm doing, guys, is everything that we just did in the front there, I'm literally going to replicate in the back. So filling this in isn't going to honestly be too bad here. Pretty much it's just putting a crap ton of walls in. It's putting in just a ton of everything, but it's pretty much just going to look exactly like this. And overall, I think it's going to look really nice. It is going to be really massive, honestly, now. I am going to keep it one story. I know I was talking about this a couple of episodes ago that I might want to add a second story to this. At least for right now, I'm good. I don't think adding a second story will really benefit in any way. Plus, I have no idea how I would actually do it. Maybe in the future, it actually might not look too bad having the two replicated. So this section here and this section here have a two-story. And then maybe it can have a balcony kind of going across from one side to the other. We could do something like that. But yeah, let me just go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and kind of fill this in and everything. And yeah, you guys will see the end result. So just give me a few minutes. Let me kind of figure this all out, how we're going to set this all up. All right, guys, so made a little progress here inside of the base, but I think we're going to focus now on the greenhouse specifically because I'm not really sure what I want to do here. I have a couple of options, and it's really just a matter of figuring out what I actually prefer. So obviously the ceiling's open right now. I'm not really sure if I want to go ahead and just cover this completely with greenhouse and just make this one massive building. We'll kind of just go outside too, just so you guys can get an aerial view of kind of what this is looking like. My only problem with doing that is the base just looks insane then, in my opinion. Just really flat, and I don't know exactly. But that is option number one there. Basically just let's close everything up and call it a day. Or we can do option number two, which, apologies for trying to explain this, might get a little confusing, but basically the same exact base that we had before, right? But just with one foundation further out. So basically we would do a line of greenhouse here and we would close up the base here, and that would be that. And then basically we just do the same thing on this side. So essentially we would have two separate bases. And yeah, you would basically just have the greenhouse open in the middle, and basically it would just be like a skylight. We wouldn't really be... What is that? Oh, it's a drop. Okay. I just saw like a pulsing from the sky. That was really weird. But yeah, so the greenhouse would basically be the only thing open, and everything else would kind of just be closed in itself. I know it might look a little wonky. I don't know. I don't know exactly what I want to do here just yet. But yeah, that is why we're going to focus on the greenhouse, because at least I know kind of what I want to do with the greenhouse. And then from there, we can kind of figure out the rest. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to go ahead and just kind of line the floor here. Now, I already have 4 made. But basically, I want to just keep going, line the entire floor, and then we'll kind of figure out what we're going to do. But I'm thinking this is a total of 4 foundations. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So if we literally just did large crop plot, large on this side, large on this side, right? We can have all 4 crops. We can do like raw carrot, savaroot, long grass, and citronal. And then literally the middle is just a path basically to get from one base to the other. And I think that might be what we end up doing here. But there is one massive problem, and I know I cannot believe that I'm about to say this. We're out of metal. I mean, we're not out of metal, but we're getting pretty freaking close. Yeah. Only 116 metal left, which you guys might be asking, how? We literally got 1,000 and change a couple of episodes ago. Well, I made a lot of trank darts and a lot of bullets without even thinking. I didn't think they took that much, honestly. And of course, it doesn't take much, but again, it all adds up. You need 2 metal ingot for that, and then to actually make bullets, you need another 2. So we're making 4 at a pop here, and I don't know if you guys saw it earlier in the episode, but where is Iceman? Just so we can kind of show that off. And of course, all this stuff's going to kind of have to move and everything. Yeah, we have a lot of trank darts at this point. I'm going to be honest. We have maybe 300 trank darts, plus we have another 100 or 200 bullets. We have 328 tranks, along with some inside of the smithy, along with probably about 300 plus bullets. So Yeah, that'll do it with the metal, honestly. That'll kind of be the reason why that happens. So we may have to take the Anki out for a quick spin to try to get a little more metal here. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and at least get the ceilings done. And in order to do that, we have more than enough cementing paste. I'm not really worried about that. I'm not necessarily worried about the crystal. I feel like we have a decent amount of crystal still. I'm going to do 6. And hopefully I can do that. I can. I think 6 is going to be fine, but I'm going to make 5. Just to play it safe, I don't want to end up making too much. I know 5 and 6 isn't... You know what? Screw it. Let's just make 6. But yeah, you can see... Oh my god, the metal is dwindling, guys. That is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, yeah, I think we might actually have to go ahead and try to head over to Herbivore Island, maybe? Maybe use the other spots that we've used in the past. Wow. Yeah, no, I'm genuinely very surprised by this, honestly. But that's 1, 2, 3 right there. 1, 2, 3 right there. And hopefully we can make 2 more. So at least the ceilings are done. Come on, please. I think we can make 2. Yay, we can make 2. I can only make 1. Are you kidding me? Really? We're out of crystal? No, we're not. There's no way we're out of crystal. Okay, this was fiber, thatch. Thatch, right? This is hide. Oh, I started taking some apart. That's right. I started to move a couple of these. Oh, wow. We're pretty much out of crystal, too. Well, that changes things. Okay. Wow. 160 right away. That's absolutely crazy. Now, I have noticed that there's not really a lot of metal node spawns around here anymore. I don't know what it is, guys, honestly. I've had people tell me to change my settings and stuff, but my settings are on 4 times. When it comes to this respawning thing, and I don't want it to go absolutely crazy. I think the problem is just the amount of foliage, the amount of other rocks and stuff here. I don't know. Like, I really just don't know how it works. Like, I assume it's like this area can only hold, let's just say, 150 assets, right? And unfortunately, there's so much other stuff here. I mean, all the foliage, all the trees, all the rocks here, I think it just takes up too much space, and I think it's just not allowing other things to spawn in. And yeah, I can break these rocks and stuff and get a little bit of metal here and there, which is what I'm going to do. I am probably going to drop the flint and the stone, though, unfortunately, because, well, we don't necessarily need it right now, and we're kind of coming out for a metal run. We're not really coming out for all this other stuff, but it's good to know that there's a lot of stuff up here. But, I mean, yeah, it's just... There's a lot. I don't know. I mean, you guys let me know, you know? You guys know about this more than I do, honestly. But it just seems really weird. Really, really weird. Is this like a massive rock? Like, what am I actually hitting here? Oh, okay, this is part of the landscape. I can't break that. I'm like, Jesus, we've done like 3 or 4 hits on this one already. All right, yeah, we'll break these guys over here, but... Yeah, if you guys remember a couple of episodes ago when we were here, there was a lot here. There was a lot of metal here. And now it's like, shoot. I knew this was going to happen. Damn it. All right, now I got to find this stupid metal node. God damn it. There's too many. There it is. Okay, cool. All right. Put that back. You take that. Let's try to be a little more careful. There we go. All right, guys, so we're on our way back to the base here. From that region over there, we ended up getting about 2,000 metal, which is really, really crazy, honestly. I mean, with the fact that everything's not fully respawning back in, I can imagine once that region back there, once this region over here, and then even once Herbivore Island. Now, keep in mind, guys, we haven't even went to Herbivore Island yet. I probably will not because of this weird respawning kind of issue. But if all the regions were fully respawned, ready to go, oh my god, the amount of metal that we would get is insane, honestly. But that being said, let's go ahead, drop you on down. We did end up getting a little bit of crystal, too, along the way, so we'll make sure that we put that away. let's see how much metal that we have. Now, we do have some metal cooking right now because, again, it is going to take a while in order for that to happen. But let's have a quick look and see. Local pole, metal. How much more metal did we get? 1592, actually. Not bad. Let's pull that. And again, just looking at this inventory, yeah, that is going to take a really long time. Let's go ahead and pull the crystal if we can. There we go, crystal. I was going to say, it's only like 100 and something. Pull that. Done. Perfect. Okay. So I guess once the metal is fully cooked and everything, we'll be able to figure that out. But I think we're going to go ahead and do kind of what I said, which is we're going to kind of close this area off. We're going to close this area off. We're going to keep this open in the middle. Let's have a little bit of water. And we're going to go ahead and close this area off. So I know it's going to take a few minutes for me to go ahead and do this. So I'll bring you guys back once that's fully closed. And hopefully we'll have enough metal to, I don't know, maybe complete the greenhouse. We'll have to see what happens here. All right, guys, so I'm going to be honest. I went a little crazy making the base, but I'm really excited that it's now done. Everything is where it's supposed to be, and I'm really excited to show it off to you guys. So without further ado, yeah, let's show off the brand new base. And of course, guys, everything in the front here is going to be exactly the same. Nothing's really changed too much here. But right when we open the doors, I mean, you guys could see the massive difference. And you know what's kind of crazy? I'm pretty sure I have this correct in saying this foundation right here, right? This was the end of our original base. I'm pretty sure it was this foundation, this foundation, this foundation, this foundation, this foundation, this foundation, and then a couple of foundations in there in order to make the L. How crazy is that? And now just look at the size of this thing. It's crazy kind of where we have been and where we're currently going. Just completely blows my mind. But kind of starting in this main room here, I don't really know what to do with it specifically. Maybe this will be where we put the tributes and all that kind of stuff. Maybe we put the artifacts in here, not really sure, but I did go ahead and add the greenhouse ceilings, and I gotta say, the greenhouse ceilings really do add a decent amount of light in here, so I'm kind of excited that I did end up going ahead and doing that. But we're gonna start in the first room here. This is, of course, the crafting room. This is the room that, I'll be honest, I always feel like I can put these rooms together really, really well. We have, of course, have a total of 4 visual storage refining forges, because obviously with the amount of metal that we're getting, yeah, we're going to need 4 forges at this point with the insane amount that we're able to get with the Anki. Of course, we got the smithy straight in the middle. One thing I will say is I always try to line up everything as best I can. And on this side, refining forges are all lined up. And you guys probably would never notice this, but of course, now that I'm mentioning it, you will now notice it. And it's the only thing you're going to notice, period, at this point. This obviously is sticking out a little bit further than the other one. And the reason for that is the wood pillar right here. The only way I can get it to snap exactly where I want it to is to remove the pillar. And if you look at the base from the outside, because everything is so symmetrical to each other, it's very weird not having that pillar there. So unfortunately, pillar is going to stay. This sticks out a little bit. I do have access to everything here, so it's not that big of a deal, but just kind of mentioning in case someone asks why this one is sticking out a little bit here. We do have our upgrade station. We also have a table back here with the 2 mortar and pestles. We also have this guy. This is the repair anvil, which is part of the vanilla with sprinkles mod. This is actually a really cool mod, and unfortunately I can't necessarily show it off to you guys right now because I went ahead and kind of tested it myself and was really surprised by it. Most of my armor was kind of damaged and everything, so what's really nice about this is traditionally, obviously, you got to take the hat out, then you got to repair it, then you got to put it back, then you do the same thing with the shirt and you repair it and you put it back, and it's a lot of time, right? Pretty much you can go ahead and put everything and anything you want to repair right in here. And all you have to do is press the repair all button and it'll repair everything as long as you have all the materials. It's really, really convenient, honestly. But yeah, definitely really cool that they added that in. I really, really like that, honestly. Have a little bit of storage here. I'm going to be honest, I don't know what we're going to use with it, but it's always good to have a little bit of storage, honestly. And that is this room. But I got to say, I really feel like this room, I don't know. I always feel like I do a pretty good job with kind of filling up this kind of room specifically. The rest of the base, Not at all. But this room I always seem to feel like I do a pretty good job with. Moving on to the next room here, I'm going to be honest, a lot of this is just kind of wasted space for right now because I don't necessarily know what else to put in here besides the fabricator. But got the fabricator in here. We also have a little bit of added storage. Again, this is going to be more hodgepodgey materials. Kind of like, I don't know where else to put these in the base for right now, so I'm kind of just throw them over here and kind of call it a day. Moving on to the other side of the front of the base, we have the kitchen area, which, of course, we have the cooking pot here. We have the visual storage cooking pot, which, funny enough, I'm pretty sure I'm correct in saying this. I have no idea how to make dyes in these things. I do not see any indication on how to make dyes in this. So I don't know if there is a way. If you do read it, it does say that it can make dyes. I'm pretty sure, right? Oh, maybe it doesn't. Interesting. Okay. Well, regardless, that's why we have the cooking pot here. This one is going to be specifically for dyes. This will probably be for everything else. We also have our visual storage campfire here, along with a little bit of storage. I don't necessarily know what we'll do with this yet, but pretty much this area has kind of stayed the same, not going to lie. We have the fridge. We have the preserving bin, which in the future here, we will be getting ourselves the industrial one, which means we're probably going to have to move all this stuff around yet again. We'll figure that out in due time. And finally, of course, the industrial grill. This room kind of stayed the same. This is the bedroom, of course, here. So we got the bed. I did put up the war map here, which I'm kind of upset that there's no way, or at least I don't think there's a way that you can mark the war map. I think that would be kind of cool, honestly, if there was a way that you can make marks and stuff on it, make little notes, all that. I think that would be pretty cool to have. Kind of like just kind of figuring out your plans of what you're going to do and everything. But that being said, it's still pretty cool that we do get a map of the island here. Cryo fridge is going to stay in the corner here for now. Maybe eventually we'll have to expand to 2 cryo fridges. But again, we have 120 spaces, so that is going to be in a really, really long time. A little bit of storage here again for the bedroom. Again, not going to go too crazy with this, but I'm going to have one specifically for armor, for stuff for me specifically. So whether that's bullets, weapons, armor, all that kind of stuff is going to be in one. And then the other one is going to be specifically for saddles. Not sure how this is going to work in the future, but for right now, it seems to work. And then, of course, we got ourselves a bookshelf with all the blueprints that we've gotten in the series so far, which honestly is not a lot. So, yeah, but that is the bedroom there. Now, I'm going to be honest, most of the rest of the base is pretty much empty right now. And again, that's just basically because I did go ahead and put the greenhouse ceilings in here, just trying to keep everything symmetrical. But again, eventually we are going to go ahead and kind of expand and everything on this. But yeah, we just don't really have anything to put in here as of yet. We'll have to see what happens here in the future. But again, looking through the back here, again, it's pretty much the exact same as the front. I did my best to make it exactly the same as the front, and that's going to be our back door, basically taking us over towards the artifact of the, I think that's the clever, if I'm going to be honest. But anyways, of course, the middle here is going to be all greenhouse because we do have our greenhouse in, and I'm really excited for this, honestly. I did go ahead and put 4 reservoirs in each of the corners, again, just keeping everything symmetrical, even though I only needed 1 reservoir. It's more about the look at that point, but I kind of wanted to go ahead and kind of put a door for each one just to differentiate them. They all get 300%, or at least I believe they get 300%. They do, so we're going to be all good to go there, but we have a total of 8 large crop plots in here, and how we're going to kind of do it is probably it's going to be 2 times the 4 vegetables. So rock carrot, long grass, citronal, and savaroot. The other option is we could go ahead and put a couple of berries in here, maybe narco berries, maybe stim berries, maybe measure berries. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But total of 8 crop plots. We're all good to go there. I kind of wanted to get your guys' take on this because we have a little bit of space down here, right? Do you possibly think, kind of looking under the base here, there's nothing else that can kind of go on here anyways, like they wouldn't be able to get out, but what if we went ahead and put dung beetles down here? First of all, would they be able to move around? And 2, how would that look? I think that would be kind of cool, right? Like, just seeing the dung beetles kind of through the floor and everything. But I need to figure out if there's a wireless way in order to get the fertilizer from the dung beetle to put it in here, and a way for me to basically be able to put poop in the dung beetle. I'm pretty sure the dung beetle has a kind of a remote system where as long as there's poop around, it'll pick it up automatically, right? Let me know in the comments what you think. But one more thing I want to do for you guys, just to kind of give you an idea here of the space that we have is, where is... Oh, Iceman's in my inventory. That's why. Okay, I want to give you guys a little bit of a flyby with this thing just to kind of see the sheer size of it. It looks weird. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. It looks weird looking at the aerial view of this thing, but at the same time, I like it. I like it. I really like the flow of the base, and yeah, you guys can see it just looks a little wonky. I don't know. In the future, we might go ahead and expand out on the sides too, just to try to keep everything as symmetrical as possible, and also try to expand as much as possible too. Couple of things to mention on the outside here. We do have the generator kind of moved a little more centralized and everything here. Again, nothing too crazy with that. Eventually, I might make a little house for the generator. On this side, we have 2 feeding troughs. One's going to be for berries, one's going to be for meat. And then, of course, we have a little bit of visual storage here for right now. This is the visual storage for the wood bin, and this is the visual storage for the stone stack. I really, really like this. They have so many different variations that you can use, honestly, and I'm going to be honest, this right here, just trying to figure out if I wanted to have them the same, if I wanted to make them a little bit different. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, that kind of took, it took a little time. Let's get away because the Doedicurus is, yeah, I'm on the Doedicurus tail. It took about 30 minutes just to decide kind of what I wanted to do there. Like I said, guys, I went a little crazy with this. But guys, that is the base. I'm really excited for it. I know it's a little crazy right now, but this is obviously a massive expansion. It gives us a lot of space here for the future too. So don't expect a lot of renovations here in the future unless it's little things here and there. But guys, that is going to wrap up this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, take a second. Make sure to hit that like button. If you're enjoying the series so far, you're excited to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. But guys, that is going to wrap up this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one.